Whether it is the Sanjeevani Yojana or the Mukhyamantri Mahila Samman Yojana, on the surface it seems it's the Aam Aadmi Party and Arvind Kejriwal that's been firing all the salvos in the battle for Delhi. The BJP for once seems in a reactive, defensive mode. That's usually not the case. In Maharashtra, they came out bang with the Mahila Ladki Behan Yojana, set the narrative, ran away with the elections even as the Mahavikas Aghadi was caught flat-footed. Is the reverse happening in Delhi? Why is the BJP being slow? Is it because of how weak the Delhi unit is, or is there a larger strategy and game plan at place? Do they have tricks up their sleeves which we can't see at this moment, but they're building up and holding back their ammunition for the new year? Who's winning the battle for the narrative as we build up to the Delhi elections? Joining us on this broadcast, representing the BJP, it's spokesperson Rohan Gupta. Representing the Aam Aadmi Party, I have Reena Gupta. I have two sharp political analysts in Sanjay Kumar and Amitabh Tiwari, who both track the politics of the capital very closely. I want to go across to Rohan Gupta first, because more often than not, it's the BJP that sets the narrative, and other parties, in particular the Congress, tend to react to what the BJP is saying and the salvos that the BJP is firing. Whether it is Kejriwal appearing as Santa Claus, or whether it is the Mukhyamantri Mahila Samman Yojana, the Sanjeevani Yojana, for once it's the Aam Aadmi Party that's firing all the bazookas, and the BJP seems to be reactive and defensive. What's going on, Rohan Gupta?
Absolutely not, Rahul. मुझे लगता है कि हिंदी में कहावत है कि जब दिया बुझने वाला है तो ज्यादा फड़फड़ाता है. So I think that is the situation of Aam Aadmi Party. You will see in coming days how our campaign will be. The basic thing, Rahul, if you see Aam Aadmi Party and Congress
fighting now, but why will I see it in the coming days? Why haven't I seen it already? Where are your Delhi unit big guns? Why is your campaign not taking off?
Rahul bhai, जो झूठ का जो पुलिंदा है खत्म होने वाला है. आप देख लीजिए क्या होगा. Because people of Delhi have realized that last 10 years, whatever promises are made, they have been fooled, you know. They came out basically with the agenda of no corruption. They came out with the agenda of good governance. On both counts, they have failed. On ground, there is absolutely no projects in Delhi. On the other side, if you see today the way Congress and Aam Aadmi, they are fighting, they have completely lost the trust of the people. 6 months back, you are fighting together in name of democracy. Today, you are saying that you are anti-national. So that means that Aam Aadmi Party, which is according to Congress is anti-national, they were saving democracy with Aam Aadmi Party, who was anti-national. How will people of Delhi trust? Whether it is Aam Aadmi Party or Congress Party, Rahul, we are in public life. There has to be some reliability, some credibility in what you are saying.
No, but AAP versus Congress is not the battle here. The battle is AAP versus BJP. And in that battle, I haven't seen you score a single solid punch. Like, what is it that your Delhi unit has done? Where are your big guns? Where are your small guns? Where are the state guns? It almost seems as if the artillery is missing in action.
Absolutely not, Rahul. We are all, we know what we are doing. We are all strategized, and you will see very shortly, even now, when you are in Delhi, I am in Delhi for last 15 days, and we know what we are working. So हर चीज का एक समय होता है, उस पे fight चालू होगा और आप देखेंगे क्या होता है. पर जो anti-incumbency है, Rahul, the way I see Delhi, after 10 years, people are really feeling that they have been really fooled. On the one side, they have completely exposed that exchequer which was in surplus.
But if you sit in studios, you won't be able to capitalize on anti-incumbency. To capitalize on the anti-incumbency you're talking about, you need to be out on the ground, which the BJP isn't at this moment. Okay, let me get two independent perspectives. I'll start with Amitabh Tiwari. Amitabh, you're sitting at a distance observing the campaign. Rohan Gupta says we are keeping our powder dry. आने वाले दिनों में देखो क्या करते हैं. We'll let loose all our bazookas. The campaign is a very short campaign. You know, in the beginning of February is when polling will happen. By the second week, results will be declared. Do you accept the contention that the BJP in Delhi has been slow off the books? Does this appear uncharacteristic given what we've seen during the Lok Sabha election, more recently in Maharashtra? And see, what do you think is going on?
See, of course, it has been slow off the books in Delhi, but largely it is due to the fact, as you mentioned, that the Delhi unit is particularly weak. And most of the heavy lifting is dependent upon the top guns, which is the Prime Minister and the Home Minister, when they start campaigning. However, that said, if you see in the last 6 months in the Haryana and Maharashtra elections, what BJP has done is that they have changed their style from a presidential to a hyper-local seat-by-seat contest. And they do not have a leader to match Kejriwal. So there's no point fighting a presidential style of contest. So what they are trying to do is exploit the anti-incumbency at the local level, for which they should have been out with the candidates by now. They are a bit late in that sense. There are 26 seats which Aam Aadmi Party has won 3 out of 3 times in the last 3 elections. And though we classify them as safe seats, we've even seen in the Lok Sabha election that the BJP also lost some of those safe seats because there was natural anti-incumbency built against that MP or the MLA. So this is where the focus of the BJP will largely be on 26 seats, have a very hyper-local contest, demonstrate what they have done largely in Maharashtra and Haryana with Nukkad Sabhas, with the help of RSS, and exploit the local level anti-incumbency. Whereas the Aam Aadmi Party will largely try to play a presidential style contest wherein they're asking the question like Narendra Modi asks, Kejriwal versus who? So that's largely the battle which is playing out. And also what is helping the BJP, you can say in a sense, is that they needed to prop Congress party, but the Congress party is already charged up in that sense, and they are making severe allegations against the Aam Aadmi Party. And if you recall the MCD election of 2017, the Aam Aadmi Party hammered the BJP in the Vidhan Sabha election in 2015, but in 2017 MCD elections, they lost. Why? Because the Congress got 21% vote share.
So that becomes very crucial. Not just how the BJP performs, but what the third leg of that tripod does. The Congress, if it resurrects to some extent, then it's trouble for the Aam Aadmi Party. And I want to put that question to Reena Gupta because that really is the concern. The BJP has about 36-38% vote share, which has been a constant trend line in a state context. The Congress, which came down to 4, if it bounces up to more than 10, most of those votes are typically the voters who have moved from the Congress to the AAP. If they come back to the Congress, then it's trouble. And it seems the Congress is making quite a lot of noises against the Aam Aadmi Party. They've been quite active. Does that concern you, Reena Gupta?
Rahul, Aam Aadmi Party is going to win Delhi the 4th time and Mr. Arvind Kejriwal will be the Chief Minister again. There is nobody against Mr. Arvind Kejriwal with the same stature, whether it's Congress or it's Bharatiya Janata Party. And it is because we have delivered on our promises, education, health, infrastructure, whether it's CCTV cameras or it's street lights, metro line, bus services, flyover, new roads, sewer lines, we have delivered on every promise. So the people of Delhi
No, but the BJP, Reena, is banking on the anti-incumbency that's built up over the last 10 years. When dispassionate voters in Delhi assess the work done under Sheila Dikshit's 3 terms and the kind of marquee infrastructure projects that got built, the Aam Aadmi Party, outside of its welfare agenda, is very little in terms of physical infrastructure to show. So Delhi is, look at how Mumbai is transformed in the last few years. Delhi is kind of where Sheila ji left it.
Rahul, it's actually pro-incumbency. People of Delhi have seen the Kejriwal government deliver, and I disagree with you on infrastructure. We have built 400 kilometers of metro line, 10,000 kilometers of road. We've installed 3 lakh CCTV cameras, 4 lakh street lights. So whether it's infrastructure, whether it's school, health, education, we have delivered on all of that. And we have brought out 2 very remarkable schemes this time. One is the Mahila Samman Yojana for every adult woman of Delhi.
No, but all these ads that have come out from officials in your government itself saying that this is a con, that there is no such scheme. You've got an unprecedented situation where senior officers in these ministries have put out public notices saying that this is a con, your data could be misused. Don't believe that this is happening because it's not. We've never seen a situation like this.
Rahul, you very well know that the Lieutenant Governor's office controls the officers in Delhi, and they have arm twisted some officers into putting out those false ads. It is the prerogative of any political party to come out with his mandate, to come out with his manifesto. Bharatiya Janata Party did the same thing in Maharashtra elections. They got forms to be filled. They did the same thing in Chhattisgarh elections. Similarly, forms were filled. तो ये तो सिर्फ जो क्योंकि ये हार रहे हैं एंड उनकी बौखलाहट बिल्कुल नजर आ रही है जब प्रवेश वर्मा पैसे डिस्ट्रीब्यूट कर रहे हैं, कैश डिस्ट्रीब्यूट कर रहे हैं वोट्स के लिए. So it's very clear.
Okay, Tehseen Punawala, has the Congress decided that the Aam Aadmi Party is the bigger enemy? Because it's clearly going after AAP in Delhi in a big way. Ajay Makan, your senior leader, attacking Arvind Kejriwal, calling him anti-national. Is it the thinking in Team Congress that let's take Kejriwal down right now, even if that means that the BJP wins, we'll deal with the BJP later?
Good evening, Rahul. Thank you for having me on the show. There's a history to this entire bitterness that has come up right now. And that bitterness starts from, and Sandeep Dixit attacked Mr. Kejriwal, comes from the attacks that the Kejriwal-led IAC movement led on Mrs. Dixit when she was alive as Chief Minister. You will recall, Rahul, and you were covering the corruption then. Arvind Kejriwal ji kept saying he had the evidence of Sheila ji in his pocket. The minute he's Chief Minister, he will take action against her. Now, all of that has turned out to be a lie after 3 terms in government. So there is nothing.
No, but you do, of course, but you do realize that the more the Congress goes up from that 4%, the more the Aam Aadmi Party comes down from that 54%, and the better it is for the BJP in Delhi.
But why did the Aam Aadmi Party not realize this in Himachal or in Goa? In Goa, if you see the difference with the TMC and Aam Aadmi Party votes, had they not cut the Congress votes, Congress would have formed the government.
So you're saying that your first priority from a Congress lens really is to take the Aam Aadmi Party down, because they've usurped the Congress's position to take down the regional force and deal with the BJP in the next elections.
That's what I would think a political party should do. Was the Aam Aadmi Party fighting Himachal or fighting Haryana or fighting Goa to lose the elections? They were also fighting to win the elections. In Gujarat, were they fighting to lose the election? Arvind Kejriwal ji famously said that he had IB reports that they are winning the elections. So every political party has a right to revive itself. That has nothing to do with the National India Alliance. That is at the national
Sanjay
level.
Kumar, can the Congress, just one second, can the Congress do to the Aam Aadmi Party what the AAP did to the Congress in the 2022 Gujarat elections, where the Aam Aadmi Party picked up enough votes, not too many seats, but enough votes to ensure that the Congress sank to its worst performance ever?
More or less, yes, but not to that extent.
Sure.
And when I say not to that extent, because I remember Aam Aadmi Party getting roughly about 12 to 13% votes in Gujarat. I don't see Congress going up to 12 or 13% vote. But my own sense is, Rahul, that Congress is certainly would be able to improve the tally. Tally means the percentage of votes compared to what it polled in 2020 assembly elections. So Congress is certainly up for damaging Aam Aadmi Party's prospects in 2025 assembly elections in Delhi. The big question remains, to what extent? To the extent of pulling down Aam Aadmi Party and resulting in...
No, but can I present another thesis that the Congress pulling away AAP votes is only one danger from the Aam Aadmi Party's lens? The bigger question in Delhi is, will those voters, and if I pull out the vote share data for assembly elections and Lok Sabha elections going back a few elections, you will see on that timeline that it is a lot of BJP voters who switched to the Aam Aadmi Party in the assembly elections. There you see, in 2019 in the Lok Sabha elections, the BJP had a 57% vote share. That came down to 39% in the next assembly. The AAP, which was at 18% vote share, jumped up to 54%. But basically, those 57 to 39, about 20% voters are BJP voters in the Lok Sabha and Aam Aadmi Party voters in the assembly. This, to my mind, much more than the rise of the Congress, this, to my mind, Amitabh Tiwari, is the crucial 20% vote share which will determine what happens in mid-February.
So what happens in Delhi is that Aam Aadmi Party, or rather Delhi, has a 30% floating voter base. Almost half of it, 15%, is with BJP and 15% is with Congress, which moves between AAP and BJP Congress between a Lok Sabha and a Vidhan Sabha election. Now the BJP has 54% vote share in this election, Lok Sabha election. Congress has 18 and Aam Aadmi Party 24. Now the Aam Aadmi Party needs to get at least 25-30% of this vote to be at 50-54% level. So all of it, as you said, cannot come from Congress. It has to come from the BJP. So the BJP also needs to ensure that this movement of 15% voters, which are largely Purvanchalis, because East Delhi, Northeast Delhi, Punjabi Khatri community, West Delhi, Southwest Delhi, and a section of Labhartis, which are Labhartis of central government, but because they are Labhartis of state government, they tend to move back to Aam Aadmi Party. So this is the vote which the BJP has to retain at any cost. There should not be any significant
Nobody
dent
explained,
here,
Tehseen,
otherwise the BJP
the
could be in trouble
Congress's
again.
strategy when they put up the likes of a Sandeep Dikshit against an Arvind Kejriwal or Pushpal Laba to fight against Atishi. You're obviously trying to make life tough for the top leaders of the Aam Aadmi Party, which is advantage BJP. The BJP is loving it, which is why Kejriwal and the AAP are saying that the Congress list is being made in the BJP headquarters.
Yet it was the Aam Aadmi Party that in its campaign said Delhi Kendra mein Modi or Delhi mein Kejriwal. It was their campaign, not the Congress campaign. It was Arvind Kejriwal ji who fought against Sheila Dikshit ji when she was Chief Minister of Delhi. They have done this continuously. In a state election, did they not pull punches? They pull punches. This has nothing to do with the National Alliance. If BJP gets powerful, so more power to them. That's how it will be. We will fight the BJP.
Reena Gupta, do you consider that this is...
One line. Amitabh forgot one vote. Reena ji, just 10 seconds. There is also the minority vote. The minority vote that the Congress and the Aam Aadmi Party has. And I think the minorities will have to decide who they want to go with. Do they want to go with the Congress or do they want to go with the Aam Aadmi Party? I think that's a crucial vote that nobody is talking about. And the Aam Aadmi Party, in my opinion, has always let them down. What did Arvind Kejriwal ji say about Shaheen Bagh? He said he was Home Minister, he would have picked them up in one day. So they have to also take those calls.
Okay. Now, Reena Gupta, when the Congress puts the likes of Sandeep Dikshit, Alka Lamba, are you concerned that some of your big leaders then get pinned down to their constituency? They're not able to campaign as freely as they'd like. Manish Sisodia in any case had to switch seats because of how unsafe he felt in the seat where he was fighting. That basically does reflect that you've got a stronger competition from the Congress. The BJP is kind of where it was. The Congress is fighting and they've fallen to 4%. So there's no way else apart from going up. Now the question is, how much does the Congress go up? From 4 to 8, 8 to 10, 10 to 12, 15. Any of those are nightmare scenarios from the AAP's perspective.
Rahul, see, every political party, be it Congress, everybody has a right to contest elections. But in Delhi, see what they are doing. They are calling Mr. Arvind Kejriwal anti-national. Mr. Kejriwal campaigned for all the Congress candidates in Delhi during Lok Sabha and in Chandigarh. So, contest an election, but see who your real enemy is. Right now, they are behaving like B team of Bharatiya Janata Party. They are not raising questions on Parvesh Verma distributing cash. They didn't go file an FIR against Mr. Parvesh Verma. They are filing FIRs against Atishi ji. So it is very clear that they are playing in the hands of Bharatiya Janata Party.
No, but that doesn't matter. The fact is they've fallen as much as anyone can fall in politics. They're down to 4%, which is embarrassing for a national party which ruled Delhi for 3 straight terms. If they bounce back, whether they go up to 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, we'll only know in mid-February. But as they bounce back, and I can't for one imagine the Congress being as low as 4, they will bounce back. Now the question is to what extent. Tehseen points out the Muslim vote. Add to that the Dalit vote, the Juggi vote, the poor vote, which was Sheila Dikshit's constituency. And if some of those, because of anti-incumbency or because of unfulfilled promises, come back to the Congress, then the Aam Aadmi Party will find it very difficult.
Rahul, nobody wants to vote for a losing party. And it's very clear that in Delhi, Congress has no ground. कोई वजूद नहीं है कांग्रेस का दिल्ली में, तो कोई भी दिल्ली का वोटर अपना वोट वेस्ट करने के लिए कांग्रेस को वोट नहीं देगा. दिल्ली में लड़ाई है भारतीय जनता पार्टी की और आम आदमी पार्टी की, और दिल्ली के वोटर को पता है कि अरविंद केजरीवाल जी ने पिछले 10 सालों में हर प्रॉमिस पर डिलीवर किया है, एंड दे आर वेरी हैप्पी with the performance of Aam Aadmi Party. So all of them are again going to vote
Sanjay
for
Kumar, there are two
Party.
theories.
You will see
the AAP's theory is that the Congress has lost its ground support in Delhi. The contra theory is that there is a certain amount of residual support the Congress always had, even if voters picked the Aam Aadmi Party in past assembly elections. And very quickly, if the Congress is seen as being active, some of that vote can come back. Do you buy AAP's theory that Congress khatam ho gayi, or do you think they're living in denial if they believe that?
No, I think both the theories are right. If you look at the vote percentages of the Congress, 4% vote in 2020 assembly election is an indication that Congress is on the completely the support base of Congress has completely been eroded. But we should not negate the possibility of Congress bouncing back in 2025 assembly election, bouncing back not to the extent of winning election, not to the extent of winning maybe 10-12 seats, but I don't rule out Congress bouncing back to roughly to the range of 8 to 10% votes.
Okay, but if it bounces up just a couple of percentage points, that won't really change the end trend line. You know, for the Congress to have the kind of impact the AAP did in Gujarat, they need to go much more than 10. Otherwise, you know, you chip away at the margins, maybe the AAP's vote share comes down a bit, but that doesn't necessarily change the end result. Rohan Gupta, you know, the BJP is like a big winning machine. You know, you've got Kohli, you've got Rohit Sharma. Typically, you'd imagine that the BJP can win on its own. You find a very peculiar situation in Delhi where part of the BJP's hopes lie on the Congress doing better than it did in the last elections.
I don't agree with that, Rahul. If you see Lok Sabha elections, you know, BJP won 52 seats even after the fact that Aam Aadmi Party and Congress fought the election together. It's a big fact.
No, but that time Modi ji was on the ticket. Right now we don't know who's on the ticket.
No. There are two things. It's not about Modi ji, or this is all about BJP. And if you see BJP, whether it is Haryana or Maharashtra, whatever seats they had won in Lok Sabha, in those assembly segments, BJP has bettered that score. That is what I'm saying. If Aam Aadmi Party says that there is a pro-incumbency, when Mr. Arvind Kejriwal played a victim card, why people never voted for him? So whether it is Congress or Aam Aadmi Party, they are fighting for a common vote. We know that with these seats, like I think Tehsin also told about the minority votes, their only common fight is the minority votes. Both are just fighting for that common vote. Because for other vote, it has already consolidated in favor of BJP, and you will see the results now. And rightly told, the way we are fighting this time is seat-to-seat mapping is going on. Whether Nukkad Sabha, just go on ground.
Here's the point I wish to make. During the Haryana elections as well, many political observers looked at what was visible above the surface to conclude that the Congress was in the lead, that they were setting the agenda, and then when the votes were counted, the result changed on the 8th of October. Amitabh Tiwari, is that something that everyone talking about Delhi needs to be very mindful about? That it may look from the press conferences, the headlines, the narrative that the Congress is setting the agenda and the BJP is appearing defensive. But you know, with the RSS network, with the campaign on the ground, could the BJP then, on a subterranean basis, try and change what's been happening? Because remember, if I look at the vote share for Delhi, the BJP sits at about 38-39% vote share. So they need just 5-6% more than they got, which they've been getting in the Lok Sabha elections. Basically, the BJP just needs to convince people who voted for the BJP in the Lok Sabha elections ki hame chhod ke mat jao. Amitabh Tiwari.
Yeah, so essentially, I would not rule out that the BJP here is able to, again, cause an upset, because they have sort of displayed that they have mastered the art of hyper-local contest. That is number one. And as you said, that the RSS meetings are not publicized. They do not appear in any media, correct? So those are happening at the ground level in Delhi also. Secondly, the lead which you are saying, that BJP needs to convince the voters who have voted to them in Lok Sabha that please stay with me, largely, correct? So if we see that the lead is 15% between the Aam Aadmi Party and the BJP. So let's say there is a swing of 7.5% from the Aam Aadmi Party to the BJP due to anti-incumbency, due to alleged corruption allegations. And also, we have to take in mind that the first tenor, there was free Bijli, Pani, schools and Mohalla clinics. In the second term, largely if you see, there is free bus travel. They have missed the bus because they have not been able to transfer the cash income support scheme to women. So there is no significant development which has taken place in the past 5 years. For the past 1 year, they have been busy rather in legal battles, which they
No, but can I contest what you're saying? You're saying that they need to keep about 7.5% of the people who voted with them, for them in the Lok Sabha election with them. I want to make a different point. They need to keep just about 3-4% of those who voted for them in the Lok Sabha elections, who would have left them in the last assembly. Keep 3-4% of your co-voter. Don't lose that. And if the Congress goes up by 2-3% and chips away from the AAP's vote bank, the combination of those two factors means the BJP needs much lesser than what the simple maths will ordain. Amitabh Tiwari.
Yeah, so 7.5, 7.5. Let's say Congress does not do well. The BJP gets 7.5 from Aam Aadmi Party, Vidhan Sabha would share. Then hypothetically, with 2020 as the base, BJP could win 39, Aam Aadmi Party 31. Now let's say Congress also does well, but gains only 5%. So it pulls from AAP, but BJP pulls just 5% from Aam Aadmi Party. So Aam Aadmi Party loses 10% from 54 to 44. And BJP becomes or gains from 39 to 44, Congress from 4 to 9. In that scenario also, with 2020 as the base, the BJP could emerge victorious in 37 to 38 out of 70 seats, hypothetically, on the basis of 2020 numbers.
Now that's where the Congress needs to decide, Tehseen Poonawalla, that is AAP the bigger threat or BJP the bigger threat? And how do you explain everything which points to Congress at the highest levels thinking कि पहले केजरीवाल को हराओ?
So there are two ways of looking at it. Should a political party keep sacrificing itself so that the regional parties get into power? I have been against the alliance with the Shiv Sena UBT and the nonsense that Sanjay Raut has been up to, and it's cost the Congress. It was born in Maharashtra. Should the Congress shut its unit down just because Narendra Modi ji has to be defeated or the BJP has to be defeated? Or should the party strive to make itself powerful? Is Arvind Kejriwal ji promising that they will not compete in Punjab or they will not go in other states? They want to expand, and the Congress has that legitimate right. But I do want to caution the Congress that don't use language like anti-national. Arvind Kejriwal is not an anti-national. We must keep our language in check, because if it's a close election, you never know. The Congress has got a few seats and it's not a majority for the Aam Aadmi Party. You need to form an alliance. So in that case, don't make language that makes it embarrassing for one another to be friends. You have a larger India alliance and a larger national alliance.
How serious, Reena Gupta, is the AAP in trying to evict the Congress from the India alliance? I don't even know if the AAP can do it, because when Mamata Banerjee was asked this question, she said, this is a government function, and I want to show you what she said. This is a government function. I wish them all Happy New Year and Merry Christmas, and I don't want to talk about it. Let's just listen to what Mamata Banerjee said when she was asked this question, and then I'll ask Reena the follow-up.
मैं सबको पास आभारी हूँ कि हर नेता ने मेरे को जो रेस्पेक्ट दिया है, मैं सबको लिए मैं आभारी हूँ. मैं सबको सुस्वास्थ्य कामना करती हूँ और ये लोग अच्छा रहे, इसको पार्टी अच्छा रहे, इंडिया अच्छा रहे, ये हम चाहती हूँ.
So the Aam Aadmi Party taking this up as an agenda, the others don't seem particularly excited. I mean, how can the AAP possibly evict the Congress from the India alliance?
Rahul, we have always followed the dharma of the Gathbandhan. In the Lok Sabha election, Mr. Arvind Kejriwal campaigned everywhere for the Congress.
No, but you also defeated the Congress
However,
in Gujarat and gave them a very bloody nose. Why should they not pay back in the same currency?
No, absolutely. But Congress cannot keep blaming the regional parties for their loss. In Haryana, they lost the election because they could not contain infighting in the Haryana unit. They could not discipline the Haryana unit. The same way in Delhi also, they are not able to discipline their Delhi unit and stop the infighting. So if there are issues within the Congress, they need to sort those issues out. Their leaders cannot go and say that Arvind Kejriwal ji is an anti-national. Who's going to accept that? We are not going to accept that and stay in an alliance with a party that is calling our leader anti-national. So Congress needs to sort itself out. And Congress का issue ये है कि रस्सी जल गई है लेकिन बल नहीं गए हैं. उनको हरियाणा का चुनाव जीतता हुआ चुनाव हारे हैं. Till the last we were waiting for them to agree to the Gathbandhan. Had they formed a Gathbandhan with Aam Aadmi Party, had they recognized that Aam Aadmi Party has a presence in Haryana, today it would have been the Gathbandhan.
But you didn't have, in the end, in terms of votes and seats, you didn't have much of a presence in Haryana. That's a different matter.
Just make a point, Reena ji. There is no seat in Haryana. Reena ji, may I just make a point? Reena ji, may I just make a point? There is no seat in...
There are 8 seats in Haryana.
Reena ji, may I please?
There are 8 seats in Haryana. If we had contested together as an alliance, Congress Aam Aadmi Party alliance would have won those 8 seats.
No, that's not true. I've gone through the data. Amitabh Bhai is here. You've gone through the data. There is, Reena ji, may I please make my point? I heard you. There is no seat where Congress was Aam Aadmi Party was defeating the BJP. Congress lost because of the descendants who stood it, and BJP put them down as much.
No, and the fighting between
Shailja ji
between your leaders, on the Hudas on the one side,
better handled by the
Kumari
BJP.
Shailja on the other.
That's true. The Congress. So that was
from the outside. Sanjay Kumar, does the Congress Delhi unit seem, you're seeing some flickers from Ajay Makan, from Sandeep Dikshit. Does the Congress Delhi unit seem capable of putting up a strong fight, or do you think this is more just television theatre, comments for social media, but no real presence on the ground?
See, a party can only put up a fight if you have a mass support. I fear that Congress still holds the mass support when it comes to the assembly election. And I keep repeating the vote percentage Congress polled in the last assembly election. I think these are bold statement offered by big state leaders of the Congress party, but it has no connect with the ground, because Congress is not present on the ground to the extent as a party should be present in order to defeat, or in order to at least challenge the two formidable forces in Delhi, Aam Aadmi Party and BJP.
Amitabh Tiwari, Sanjay Kumar quite certain that there is no way the Congress is going up from 4 to 10. He thinks it's more likely to be 6 or 7. He's saying 8 bhi mushkil hai. What's your sense? Basis what we are seeing from the outside, to what extent do you think the Congress can bounce back?
See, the Congress is not fighting this election to win.
Sure.
They are fighting this election to have a 2013 type situation where the Aam Aadmi Party is dependent upon Congress support if it wants to form a government. Reena ji made a very valid point that the Congress did not give seats to Aam Aadmi Party, but that is what the mistake the Aam Aadmi Party is committing in Delhi. It is not giving seats to Congress Party, and there the Congress lost.
No, but that's an absurd expectation, because the AAP is in government.
Sanjay ji is right
in Haryana, the Congress wasn't in government. They were in opposition trying to snatch power. Which party ever, when they are in government, will be willing to share the spoils of power with another party?
No, it is not about sharing power. It is about tactical alliance. Because what message does it give? Because 6 months earlier, you had an alliance. In Delhi, you had an alliance. But now you are not having an alliance, and you have come to such a point that Congress leaders are calling AAP leaders anti-national. See, Sanjay ji is right in that sense that Congress is not going to win 15 to 20%. But I would not be surprised with a 9 to 10% vote share. And that is enough to damage the AAP if the BJP also, as you said, holds on to 4 to 5%.
This reminds me, Rohan Gupta, of some of those World Cup qualifiers where we've been in, where India is then depending on Bangladesh to beat Zimbabwe to get through to the quarterfinals or the semi-finals. I mean, the BJP should be a mighty army capable of winning on its own. This whole idea that Bangladesh will beat Pakistan and that's how India will qualify to the quarterfinals or semi-finals doesn't behove a party which claims to be the world's largest political organization.
राहुल, यहाँ तो बांग्लादेश और श्रीलंका ही झगड़ रहे हैं, हमको कहाँ कुछ करने की जरूरत है? See the plight of India.
आपके लोग हैं कहाँ? मैं तो शुरू से वही सवाल पूछ रहा हूँ. What are your people doing?
Again, let me.
आप तो बैठ के बांग्लादेश और श्रीलंका का झगड़ा देख रहे हो.
हम तो क्वालिफाई करके बैठे हैं. आप देखिए 52 सीट्स पे वो लोग साथ में लड़ने के बाद भी अगर हम जीतते हैं तो हमको जरूर वो लड़ते रहे.
वो मोदी जी का इलेक्शन था. There's a big difference.
They are not again. They are not fighting for qualifying. They are just fighting to save their moral victory. That is what it is. It is for 5-7 seats. It's not beyond that. I'm telling you now. You are going to see the repeat of Haryana in Delhi. Number 1, there will be a micro campaign, seat-to-seat campaign. Number 2, number 3, the way Aam Aadmi Party and Congress they fought against each other in Haryana, same is going to happen in Delhi. And finally, you will see the number in Delhi again. फिर वो EVM की बात करेंगे. फिर मोर्चा तो रीना जी और जैसिन जी साथ में ही निकालेंगे. EVM के खिलाफ का मोर्चा इनका साथ में ही जाएगा.
Okay, I'm out of time. So final words, Reena Gupta, I'll start with you.
No, it just yes. Rahul, the reason Bharatiya Janata Party won Haryana was because of the incompetence of Congress Party, no other reason. पर दिल्ली में भारतीय जनता पार्टी 26 साल से कोशिश कर रही है अपना मुख्यमंत्री बनाने की. अभी तक तो बना नहीं पाई. इस बार भी कोई आसार नजर नहीं आ रहा है. सुपड़ा साफ होने वाला है। पिछली बार 4-5 एमएलए आ गए थे, इस बार वो 4-5 भी नहीं आने वाले। 70 की 70 सीट पे आम आदमी पार्टी जीतने वाली है। अरविंद केजरीवाल जी चौथी बार दिल्ली के मुख्यमंत्री बनने जा रहे हैं, क्योंकि हमने बढ़िया काम किया है और बढ़िया काम करते आएंगे।
In Haryana, it was the BJP in government, the incumbent government. Yet Aam Aadmi Party kept attacking Hooda ji and the Congress, not the BJP government. Now, I caution the Congress. Please fight against the Aam Aadmi Party, but don't make the mistake they made with Kumar Vishwas ji, where Rahul ji retweeted him, and don't use these language like anti-national. In case of an alliance and there is certain common vote, let's stick together. The larger aim should be to defeat the BJP, but also strengthen the Congress.
Okay, so there'll be a lot more in the coming days around the Delhi campaign. For the time being, you've heard from different political formations, the BJP saying we are holding our ammunition, keeping our guns dry, we'll unleash them in the coming days. But it's a very short campaign. It's almost like a T20 style elections. You really need to get to the ground very quickly. You can't stay in the dressing room for too long. The match may soon be over. And remember, the Congress in Haryana was a far more disjointed campaign than the AAP in Delhi. So you don't want to make that same mistake. Kejriwal, a far more nimble political operator, far more shrewd as well. And that's something the BJP realizes extremely well. The fact is that the 20% voters who vote for Modi, they also vote for Kejriwal. That is really where the nub of the Delhi elections lie. Will they stay with brand BJP? Will they switch again to Kejriwal? That more than anything else will determine which way the battle for the capital goes. Thank you for tuning in.